Yo, we living in a world where the shadows creep. Got the government watching every move, no sleep. They got their eyes on us, trying to keep us in line. But we stand tall, ready to redefine. Who you calling when the system's gone wrong? Good citizen media, we the voice in the throng. You people unite, we the force that they
ladies and
fear.
gentlemen, great to
Holding
see
them
you.
accountable,
Welcome in.
crystal clear. What do you do when the man is corrupt? Can't call the law, they all in the cup. We rise up strong, we won't back down. Government watchdogs taking back the crown. Charges fabricated, they throwing the heat. Run us through the courts, but we can't be beat. They trying to silence us, but we got the truth. With every beat drop, we reclaiming our youth. Standing our ground, we the ones that they chase. But we push back hard, running this race. No fear in our hearts, we got the power to fight. Illuminate the darkness, we bring in the light. What do you do when the man is corrupt? Can't call the law, they all in the cup. We rise up strong, we won't back down. Government watchdogs taking back the crown. So when they come knocking, we answer with pride. Good citizen media, we won't be denied. You people together, we rewrite the script. Standing for justice, we'll never be clipped. So raise your voice, let them know we're awake. We the watchdogs, we got what it takes. The government trembles when we take a stand. Together we rise, united hand in hand. What do you do when the government's bad? You call on the truth, you call on the rad. Good citizen media, you people in the game. We the watchdogs and we ain't playing tame.
All right, guys. Let's get into it. So we've got the Walsenburg. We've got the Walsenburg meeting for you guys. Hopefully you guys are up for it. Let me get this up here on the screen. All right. How's that looking, guys? Why is that not? There we go. All right. So, City of Walsenburg, Colorado. We're going to check their meeting out. You People is also live right now. He is covering Aguilar, Colorado. All right. So, Walsenburg over here, Aguilar over there. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. They should be starting up anytime now here in Walsenburg. They're all muted, but they did say the meeting was being recorded. Here's what they look like up there. I don't know why it does that. Okay. Looks like most of the board's up there. So, I mean, for this meeting, I'm probably just going to be muted up most of the time. Listen to what they have to say. Hopefully we got good audio and video for you guys that wanted to sit home and watch. So once again, thank you guys. We'll get this meeting started here shortly. I see John Denicola is in there. Wonder what? Maybe he's got a comment. Teresa, we've been looking into it. Actually, it is a mess. It is a mess. We were looking into it months and months ago, and we discovered a few things. We tried to expose what we could there. Hopefully, they can do better. We will see. We're still checking it out. It was definitely not good. So. All right. 6 o'clock. They should be starting any second, guys. Again, appreciate you all being here. I'm going to mute up as soon as it starts, and we'll just listen to them, see what they have to say. Thanks again for y'all being here. Appreciate thumbs up. Oh, and all the members, all you members, there's new emojis that you can use.
It's 6 o'clock. I'll call the special meeting to order of January 27th. Roll call.
Mayor Bazzani,
Here.
All right.
Veronica Mays,
There's a link for you people.
Ronald Stafford,
Here.
Jennifer Novak,
Here.
Fred Ecker,
Here.
Don Martinez,
Here.
Pamela Brightweiser.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Stand for the pledge. Brad, would you lead us? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we approve the agenda, I'd like to note that I had an executive session scheduled on this agenda and it got taken off. So I don't believe we're able to have an executive tonight. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I move that we approve tonight's agenda.
I got a motion by Pam Brightweiser. Second. Second by Ronald Stafford.
Discussion. I feel that we should not discuss a budget tonight. I've had some back and forth with our attorney, and he said that he also feels the same, that it should be moved to executive session next regular meeting. So I think that to talk about the budget tonight without any financials of what went into it, how we did it, I don't think we should talk about that tonight. But that's just my opinion. and legal's opinion too.
I agree. I think what we can accomplish tonight is decide what everybody wants and what direction we're taking. What the council wants to do with the golf course. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
So I guess I didn't understand, is the budget coming off or is it staying on? Or can we
You
just,
probably need to,
at that time.
you probably need to amend.
so at that time, we can make the motion?
Yes,
Perfect.
we get to that. I think when you get to that,
Right,
it's already on the agenda, so I guess we could have taken that.
right, that's all. That's
We can do it either way. New business action on establishment of a municipal golf course enterprise and associated budgeting and subsequent appropriations. I'd like to hear the council's preference on how they think we should proceed with the golf course and the proposition from the county to run a joint park and rec district. Anybody got any comments?
And right now, that's the golf course. The swimming pool isn't involved yet.
That's what they want to do. This before us tonight is just the golf course, what I read.
Yes.
So I don't know why we'd be talking about a county park and rec if that's not on the agenda.
If that's not what?
On the agenda.
It's the draft between the county and city is on there to run the golf course.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think we should talk about just the golf course, not about a county parks and rec.
No, that's all that's on there. That's all that's in there. Just keep in mind that possibly this organization, if it does get formulated, would be interested in taking care of all the park and rec requirements and needs of the whole county.
Well, I think that's a conversation later though.
Right.
I think we stick.
And what's in your proposal tonight is just the golf course.
So just so that I'm clear, the previous contract that we had with the Walsenburg Golf Association is no longer effective. It's done. When was that effective? When did that get done?
In my opinion, I'm not sure that was ever done. There was the initial formation of the Walsenburg Golf Association was done combined with the city of Walsenburg, Warfield County formed the golf association to operate the golf course after it was built.
Correct?
That is still in place. What happened a few years ago is the golf association decided they wanted to be a 501(c) to qualify for more grant money. And, you know, they're looking at the future possibly of some major projects. It's getting old. So they changed the bylaws to state that the board of directors will be appointed by the city and county versus being elected by the members of the golf course. Those bylaws were changed.
But did,
Now, I don't think they were ever written down, but they were changed at a meeting. I was at the meeting.
right. But I'm saying, did that ever happen? Did the city and county appoint those people?
I
think so.
I don't think so either.
No, I don't remember doing anything like that.
No, the same board of directors just carried on. Nobody, the golf association probably didn't come back and tell the city and county they needed to appoint somebody. So the same board carried on, and then after some people left, they were self-appointed. I was there at one meeting. We appointed some people. It was never brought before the city or the county. And that's where the board sits right now.
So I guess my question is, again, my understanding is that that contract terminated November of 2025. Based under the contract that was in place with the city of Walsenburg, I believe 2021, but it was set to expire November 30th of 2020,
You're talking about the lease agreement, not the golf association.
the lease agreement.
Okay.
The lease agreement with the golf association, meaning that the golf association no longer had access to the golf course. Because they didn't have a lease.
I don't believe the city took any action or the golf association took any action. It was a 5-year lease, renewable every year. And when March of 25 and March of 24 hit, I believe they supplied the city with the appropriate financial reports. But I don't remember ever signing another lease. I was the president back in 24, so.
That was the information I received from Hyatt. It was that it termed at the end of November, regardless.
Okay.
So they're not running. It's, I mean, it's,
Oh, I think you can say it's terminated, so.
okay, so that's fair. We'll say it's terminated. So were the locks changed? Who has the keys? Who has access?
The locks were changed. Our administrator took possession of all the keys and had people sign for him that needed entry to the golf
Who would
course.
need entry?
I have one. And a couple of the people keeping it open during the day have one. I don't know exactly who has them.
So when
There's like 2 or 3 out.
you say keeping it open, what activities are going on at the golf course, keeping it open?
On weather permitting days, there's cart rentals and they need use of the restrooms and they sell beverages.
So who's selling beverages? That's what I'm saying. Does the city of Walsenburg have an active business license to run a business at this county location?
I still believe the Walsenburg Golf Association is in existence and they have the liquor license.
They don't have a lease of the premises. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're allowing an organization to continue to do business there, to continue to make money, to sell money, whatever they're doing there, when they don't have a current lease. You just said at the beginning of this conversation that it's fair to say that the lease is no longer there, but they're allowed to do that. They're allowed to have parties there. They're allowed to do whatever they want to do there, as we're trying to put together how we want to proceed with.
Yeah, the lease is not there and their lease is not there with anybody, but the existence of the golf association, I believe, is still there. So they still exist. And they were contracted or formed to run the golf course in 1965 and they've been there ever since.
I understand that, but they also had a more recent lease that said that they had certain stipulations that they had to follow. And I believe I would have to find the email from Mr. Hyatt that lease terminated at the end of November, but the Golf Association went to the county and got another liquor license, knowing that they did not have access to those premises. So that was not.
Well, the golf association was still active. That's where the question is.
Active. They don't have legal possession of the facility where they're serving.
I guess what you're saying is when they signed the lease with the city to lease it, they didn't dissolve the Walsenburg Golf Association. The Walsenburg Golf Association still existed.
Absolutely. I'm not.
And they have a liquor license.
And they don't have access to the lease because they don't have an active lease.
If I may. They never had an active lease in 60 years. This lease come up 2-3 years ago. It never was a lease.
2021,
Right.
the lease that said that if they followed everything in the lease, then they would not be charged the $18,000 in rent, that would be waived, but that's a lease. 2021, it was a lease. I believe you signed it.
So it's 5-year
Yeah, I did.
lease.
5-year lease, yes.
So that would be due in March 2026.
November 1st, 2025.
It's Mr. Hyatt gave me the numbers. He said that it was the end of November of 2025 that lease ended. I'm trying to find that.
No, the lease didn't get enacted until March.
Can we ask Mr. Hyatt, is he online?
Yeah, Mr. Hyde, go ahead.
So I have a copy of the lease right in front of me. If you look on the second page of the lease, paragraph 4, it says the tenant may have and hold the premises for a term of 60 months, commencing at 12 o'clock noon on May 15th, 2020, and terminating at 12 o'clock noon on November 1, 2025, unless the term is sooner terminated as provided in a lease. So this lease, as it stands now, ended on November 1, 2025. If they, to the extent that they continue to operate after that, they would be holdovers. But I think I just heard that the city has taken possession of the golf course at this point.
But they're allowing the association to still do business there.
Well, it's actually the city. The Golf Association still has payroll in their name, sales tax in their name, liquor license in their name, yes. Mr. Galusha actually interfered or intervened and had to run it versus closing the doors and turn down membership fees and dues and everything else that comes through the doors. He kept the doors open. Mr. Hyatt, I would like to ask you, are you familiar with the Walsenburg Golf Association when it was formed in 1965, and does it still exist?
Well, I think it's clear that it still exists. I think it's a nonprofit corporation in good standing with the Secretary of State. And I know that it has a liquor license, and the liquor license I looked up, and it doesn't expire until the end of 2026. The problem with that is that I don't know when they made the application for the liquor license, but underneath the liquor code, in order to get a liquor license, you have to show that you have legal possession of that property through the end of the term of the license. So I think there's probably a legal issue there because it's clear that they don't have a legal right to possession of that property because the lease is terminated. But that's not for us because that's a matter of the county and the state.
Here he's on, he's listening, he can't, for some reason, he's having technical difficulties. We're trying to work it out.
Anyway, they assumed they could run under the auspices of the Walsenburg Golf Association as it was formed in 1965. That's what they're operating under. If this council wishes, they can cease that if they like.
I think the contract ceased itself.
What's that?
I said, I think
Mayor.
the contract ceased itself.
Mayor,
Mr. Hyde, go ahead.
I think the council is confusing two issues. I think you have the one issue of whether or not the Walsenburg Golf Association exists as a legal entity, and I think it does. And then the second issue is, does the Walsenburg Golf Association have a legal right after the termination of the lease to enter the property and conduct business? And if the city has taken repossession of that property, then unless the city enters into a new agreement with the association, they don't have a legal right to go in there and conduct business. Now, the city can certainly enter into a new agreement with them and allow them to do whatever it is the city wants them to do. But as it stands now, they don't have a legal right to go on there because the city has taken repossession of the property. So if this council wants to allow them to lease that property on some short-term basis so they can continue to conduct business and they can have an employee there to collect monies and so forth, then that's certainly, the council certainly has that right.
Okay, are you aware of under what premises Mr. Galusha, did he take over or did he just help manage
This
it?
is
Do you know
juicy,
at all?
guys. You got to admit.
Or does Jerry know?
They're just saying everything out
It's
loud.
my understanding from what was said at previous meetings that Mr. Galusha is setting out there as an employee of the city of Walsenburg and not as an employee of the Walsenburg Golf Association, and that he's working for the city on his computer during that time and while he's taking money in for the golf course. Now, I don't know whose money that is, but he is an employee of the city of Walsenburg and not the Golf Association.
The money's going into the Golf Association's accounts that I know.
Yeah.
But do you have a problem with still operating under the Walsenburg Golf Association until the council can decide what they want to do?
With city employees, I do.
Well, Mayor, I can't make that determination.
Right.
That's something that the council can decide. And you can enter into some sort of a short-term agreement if the council members are willing to do that.
I think for the benefit of the golf course and just save a ton of money and a bunch of problems that that's what the council should do. Until the council figures out what they want to do. Or does the council want to enter into agreement with Warfield County and run it that way? Does anybody have any ideas what you want to do?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
How would the golf association as it is now, if we were to pass this resolution, how would they mingle in with the county and the city?
As the way I read it, is the golf association is out. If we enter into
Yeah,
this
that's
agreement,
what
then it's the city and the county that are running
Right, but it's
the
in,
golf course, but then the golf association has no, I mean, it can be the golf association still
in the interim.
for whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still have a Walsenburg Golf Association even after this. But according to this agreement, I think if we agree with this agreement, then they don't have anything to do with running the place.
Right.
I mean, they can be in a golf association and, you know, do whatever they want to do.
But we aren't under,
But,
we aren't under this yet. What do we
Right.
do before we get under this? That's the question.
well, that's a good question. And I mean, I guess,
I think it's better for the whole enterprise as a whole to stay operational. Once you shut down, I think you kill yourself. I mean,
well,
He's on speaker here.
is he?
Yeah, if we can hear him. Barry, can you hear us?
I can't hear him. Yeah, now I can.
Operationally, cooperative arrangement that Mr. DeLucia put forward, I think works. What we're trying to do is utilize our existing operations, build a new way to deal with the golf course. If we go retrospectively and try to deduce what was going on with a private entity, it creates some problems for us. So for us, my recommendation is we cut cold turkey and we bring the operation into this new entity. Now we're prepared as a city to run it as a municipal operation, as an enterprise. However, if we could do a cooperative arrangement with the county, I think it's better for the city long-term, for stability and marketing and everything else. So with a lot of things here, I mean, and prospectively move forward, because we will be doing every single thing retrospectively and trying to figure out who screwed over who.
They all screwed over the people. We know that.
So who do you want running the golf course tomorrow? I guess I didn't get that. That wasn't very clear.
Such intergovernmental agreement is entered into, and in the event that it's not entered into, then we are prepared to absorb it as an enterprise operation, and we will allocate staff appropriately.
So right now, he has some employees, he's gone. He has some employees working there and their paychecks are coming out of the Walsenburg Golf Association checking accounts.
They didn't have any money.
What's that? Yes, they are.
About the golf course.
With full endorsement.
Okay, could you mind saying that again? We had a couple people talking. Do you hear me?
Mayor,
This is the mayor. I had a couple people talking. We didn't hear your last few sentences there.
Sorry, I've asked to prepare under the assumption that the city would take it over. the event that we do not, then I think that serves as good information for this collaborative arrangement with Huerfano County and the city of Walsenburg to move forward. In the event that we do not have county support, we are prepared to run it as a municipal operation. That said, the customer service side of it, they suffer a little bit.
So for instance, paychecks are being written out of the Walsenburg Golf Association account right now and utilities and everything else. Do we continue that way or when do we make a change or how do we shut it off tomorrow? What's the plan?
Taking the spirit of cooperation with another community group, we allow status quo until such time as we establish this new governmental framework, and then we reach out to our partners, constitute a new board with this IGA, and then we roll back into that structure. The whole point is not to disrupt the operations over there, because we have customers, we have citizens that rely on what we're doing over there, and that's, from my perspective, that's what I think is the least disruptive way to move forward.
Okay, there's some question on the liquor license. Are you comfortable operating under the Walsenburg Golf Association's liquor license?
I think if we have facilities open and we're moving month to month, the liability is on the license holder. And I'm not asking for a legal opinion. I'm just looking at a practical approach.
The liability is on the license.
Please.
I'm just asking the question.
Oh,
It's hard to hear it.
Yeah. Who's the liability on?
on the license holder, he said.
Good to know.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing him too. Mr. Hyatt, go ahead.
Mayor, can you state who was on that telephone? Because I don't know who that was.
Echo? Our city administrator, Mr. Hyatt?
Oh, that was our city administrator.
Yes.
Okay.
And I had to leave town, so it's in the neck.
Yeah, we just can't hear you. You're on a speaker up here in the dais and nobody can hear you. It's hard.
Can we get a legal opinion from Mr. Hyatt on liability?
Sure. Mr. Hyatt, what do you think about the liquor license if the city decides to go status quo until this gets changed?
I think, I don't think I can give a very good answer to just that question. Let me put it this way. If the city wants to continue on the status quo for a short period of time until you can get an intergovernmental agreement worked out, what I would recommend is that we extend the lease, amend the lease and extend it until such time as that intergovernmental agreement is executed. And then you don't have to worry about the liquor license because the golf association could continue to use it at that property. The city cannot take over and use that liquor license and sell liquor on its own behalf. You would have to have a transfer of that license from the golf association to the city. And it's going to be a lot cleaner if you just extend the lease for a couple of months until you can get this intergovernmental agreement worked out.
So a month-to-month basis.
Who's responsible for?
Well, I think if you can get the golf association to agree, what I would suggest is let's just extend the contract and make the termination date the same date and time that the intergovernmental agreement is executed by the city and the county.
And if they can't meet the terms of the lease?
Well, I think that's up to you to decide if you want to continue it on the same terms, or if you just want to let them use the golf course, knowing that you're going to change how the management is set up.
I don't know, Gina, if you could hear me.
I hear you.
Is like a month-to-month situation. We need to stabilize the golf course, create this new entity with a cooperative intergovernmental agreement, and then move forward. And so I don't see value in having multiple city council meetings and ordinance or actions for a temporary situation when we know we're going to be working with Warford County to come up with a permanent solution.
All I know, Veronica, is they've collected enough membership fees and they got $5,000 from the county. They can probably get through a couple months bare bones staff.
I will say that when we get to the point that the Golf Association is out of it, those memberships are not recognized by the city of Walsenburg. Because the city of Walsenburg shouldn't have to absorb something that they didn't collect on.
I don't think that's fair to the members that paid the fees.
I don't think it's fair to the citizens of Walsenburg. either.
I'm one of them. I don't think so. I disagree.
Jerry, what was the conversation we had about memberships?
How do you throw a quote? So depending on the date of when someone paid their dues and when they're received as revenues, does that offset, the expenses? We got to work through that. But in my mind, we got to cut clean. We got to create a very clean new organization for accounting and operations and everything else, because if we try to look retrospectively, it's going to be a quagmire.
So if the golf association were to pay the dues of the existing paid members at the time it wasn't theirs, like Fred's, 10 more months. And so the golf association would transfer 10 months of his membership to the city and pay them. So we have that money to run off the next 10 months too.
If you think they can do that.
Well,
And status quo, starting from day one, everyone starts paying from day one. Clean up the register, no retrospective credits, none of that stuff. And the only reason why I'm saying that is that when you keep looking back, you can keep digging. And I'd rather not, operationally for the city and for accounting and everything else, let's just come clean. Everybody from day one, here's the deal. We don't want any retrospective looks. We just start new. And these are the rules. Everybody plays by the rules. We're going to enforce the rules prospectively, because we cannot keep bringing ghosts of the past forward. We got to start clean on some of this stuff.
So I have a question. So if I were to go in today and buy a soda pop, I'm not a drinker, liquor licenses are a little difficult for me, and buy a soda pop, that money today would go to the golf association. So the day that they leave, do they take the remainder of their sodas with them? Or do they become the city's sodas?
The golf association isn't owned by anybody. Once the golf association's gone, it's all the cities. There is no ownership through the golf association.
What about funds in the golf
That goes to the
association?
city.
It just becomes the
Yes.
city's.
So I think you continue it. I believe the association showed membership fees for 2026. I think you have to honor those memberships.
I don't.
I do. I'm entitled to my opinion.
yeah, I think,
I paid mine early. The reason for that is I understood that they needed the money. And that's the reason it was paid. So I'm gonna be penalized $1,600
Think you're
because you think that.
Mr. Hyatt, do you have an opinion on the golf association selling 2026 fees and whether they're still valid?
You're talking about the dues?
Yes, membership fees, dues. They collected 2026 membership
Well-
fees.
Well, members of the Golf Association who have paid dues are entitled to the service that they paid for. I think that as a matter of equity, that any non-used membership fees. So if a person buys a membership that is good for 12 months and they still have 6 months of membership left, then I think the Golf Association should, to the extent that they have that money left, pay that money to the city when the city takes over. I think that's the most equitable way to do it. It may not work because
Wait,
they may
Gary.
not have the funds to do that.
Chair, through my comments as to say that if someone paid membership dues with the expectation of playing golf in 2026, I believe we should honor those. Those are administrative kind of tweaks that we do. I think with respect for tonight's purposes, it's the bigger issues of management, the IGA. Those are the matters which I believe are before the council. Anything else with discrepancies on users, when they paid their fees, when they paid their dues, if they did donations, all that's more of an administrative matter which I would bring before city council.
So here's my reasoning on it. So the city of Walsenburg takes over operations. In this budget that's here, it's counting annual passes. So if there's already been, we'll just say in 2024, there was 83 memberships sold at a tune of $43,000. So if everybody who bought a membership in 2025 for 2026, we're going to honor those memberships. They're going to come through. That's loss of revenue to the city of Walsenburg. City of Walsenburg will have to pick up that. The county will have to pick up that. If it's $40,000, that's $40,000 lost revenue that we're honoring the Golf Association because the members had faith in the Golf Association that they were going to be there in 2026 to honor their memberships. They're now out of the picture, and the city of Walsenburg, taxpayers of Walsenburg, have to eat that cost.
I don't look at it that way.
You want-
Membership, no, I get to my chance to talk. The memberships dues were collected, but it's to pay a lot of expenses. A lot of those expenses sitting in the propane tank up there and paying the utility bills, they're still being spent now. That money is getting spent in 2026. And you can't put an end date of December 31st on it. But those dues collected were spent towards the golf course. And it's the Walsenburg's golf course. That's how I look at it. And I think you're going to be looking for a lawsuit if you think you can renege on the 26 memberships you sold, is what I think. I don't think it's fair to the members in the town of Walsenburg. If you want to be fair to the citizens, is what you said a while ago, you're not being very fair.
Well, this is the way I look at that, is the golfers paid for a membership from the Golf Association, not from the city of Walsenburg. The Golf Association is running, if we give them a short-term lease and they run it for another 2 months, then they've had the quarter year of the lease. They should be allowed to spend quarter of the annual dues on whatever they need to spend it on. It was normal, propane, supplies, whatever, wages, whatever they normally spend it on. But they should still have 3/4 of a year membership dues in the bank, basically, which either should be refunded to the people that paid annual membership or paid to the city to take care of that. That's 3/4 of the year. I mean, because you pay your membership, I think I heard $800 or something like that for your annual membership. That gives you
500.
about 500. Well, that gives you the whole year of paying for you to be out there. So if the golf association ran it for 3 months, they should still have 9 months of your membership sitting in the bank someplace. And maybe it don't work that way, but that's the way I kind of look at it. And I think that either they should refund it to the members, or they should forward it to the city when they are out of the picture.
Some of their expenses though, like the propane tank, if that's full, that could last 6 months.
Yeah, this time of year, a couple.
Yeah. Cause we'd get whatever's there. I mean, they're not leaving with the soda they bought. It'll still be there for the city to sell or city county combined. Beer.
Jerry, go ahead.
Is about setting up a future framework, cooperative arrangement, so long as the city and Montreal County approve that intergovernmental agreement, that will establish the structure. So what we're talking today is bridging the gap between today and when that new structure goes into place. And once that structure is in place, Huerfano County's finance department, Walsenburg's finance department are going to have to work with that entity to get their finances squared away. But I think in the long-term benefit of the community, having this cooperative arrangement, this IGA, and establishing a golf enterprise is a wise move. Whether it's
So you want to try to do the intergovernment, this resolution would it take effect tomorrow?
Okay. Information purposes, we want to,
So the first thing
we will finalize all final arrangements and the final staff report and the final presentation, which would be brought before you.
Well, that was my point. What do we do? Let's take care of the issue at hand, which is how do we operate from tomorrow forward until this is done?
Future operation until we get this situation resolved.
So you want to extend the lease?
So
So I'm asking you, you're our administrator, do you want to extend the lease? Is that the right way to do it? That's what I heard from Mr. Hyatt.
running all that, coordinating all that, because he's. And I'm comfortable if Mr. Village is doing that, by the way.
At $60 an hour.
No, he does his other work up there at the golf course. He has his computer. It's just 1 or 2 an hour that come in, he deals with to keep the doors open, have the bathrooms available. So if I may, we need a motion to extend the contract until a time when the IGA is established. The lease agreement, yes.
I don't think that's on.
I view that just as direction. Madam Mays view that more as direction as opposed to anything else.
I don't think we can make motions tonight.
No,
I mean, I agree that it should be direction, but I also believe that that should include the Golf Association's responsibility, just like the original agreement with them, is that they have to pay all the expenses, everything that's entailed in doing business is their responsibility, not the city of Walsenburg's. Insurance, everything that was in the original lease can be in month to month.
keep in mind, it's the city of Walsenburg's golf course. Let's try to keep it running.
City of Walsenburg insures the building and takes care of all of that. We always have.
That's the only thing you've done. It was built for the city for nothing.
Seriously? Wow.
It was built by private individuals. It was paid for by golfers.
And it was.
All the money that was brought in was put back in the golf course, and that's how it's there. It wasn't there because of the city of Walsenburg.
And I understand.
So here.
Okay.
To the city attorney, obviously, that in the spirit of cooperation and understanding there are a lot of constituents in the community that golf, I think it's fair and reasonable for us to take this approach where we will manage the golf course until such time as the IGA is approved. We have an obligation to make sure that everything is safe and contained, and we'll work with all associated parties there too. But until the IGA is done, then the revenues and expenditures can be reported to the public and presented.
Okay, Mr. Hyatt, if we did not sell liquor, can we just run it the way we're running it?
Take the liquor out.
Can you repeat the question, Mayor?
If we do not sell liquor, we do not require a liquor license, can we run it the way we've been running it? With, sometimes John Galusha's up there a couple hours a day. When there's bad weather, nobody goes. It's just to keep the doors open when there's decent weather to play. Can we keep running that way without selling liquor and be okay?
So legally, the lease has terminated. The
Right,
golf association, as I understand it, is no longer in possession of the golf course. The city is in possession. And so the golf association is not a holdover tenant. So the city can go ahead and it can operate the golf course any way it wishes, but it cannot use the liquor license.
but it can use everything else?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
the other consumables on that property don't belong to the city. So you're going to have to make some arrangement with the golf course regarding that. So if you have a bag of potato chips that's still out there, that's not the city's property, that's the golf association's property.
Yeah, there's probably $5,000 to $10,000 worth of alcohol.
No,
Well, the alcohol you can't touch. You have to leave the alcohol there, and you can't move it, and you can't sell it.
Right, but it's gonna end up somebody's when this is all said and done.
Yes. What happens is the liquor license is valid until the end of 2026.
Right.
And so once the golf course, once you have decided how you're going to operate the golf course going forward, if you make arrangements with the golf association, you can, there are ways that the city could operate underneath their license temporarily until the license is transferred. But if the golf association does not want to cooperate with that, then you just can't sell liquor there until after their license expires.
Right. So when it does transfer, the city of Walsenburg could use the revenue from the liquor to make up for the memberships that were sold.
I have no idea how much alcohol is sold out there. So, but yeah, assuming that the amount of alcoholic beverages sold, assuming that the revenue from that is equal to the amount that was paid in dues, yes. But you have to have the legal right to sell alcoholic beverages there first.
Yeah, we understand that part. Well, some people have a liquor license. Another time. I was talking, you wasn't. The other thing is, the golf course has bought golf carts and a lot of kitchen stuff and little chairs. There's a lot of money put into that. That should more than cover the memberships. And so I think the golf association can walk away and not owe anybody anything, and the city should be whole. That's my opinion.
Part of this process.
I agree. Okay.
I think that's part of what muddies up what's clean cut, because clean cut would be empty the entire building, throw away the booze and buy new. But we need to trying to deal with, I like the plan of where we're going to be. The transition is hard.
That's why I make it as simple as possible. Let's don't hurt anybody in the process.
Yeah, I agree.
So Yes, everybody, to continue the way we're going is what I understood from the attorney. We just don't sell alcohol. Everybody good with that? No.
We need an inventory of alcohol.
We,
Believe
we can get to that point. Let's deal with what's in front of us now. We want to operate from tomorrow morning on until this IGA gets done.
I guess I don't
It's pleasure.
understand. Who is working there? Who is getting paid? How are they doing this? I've heard Mr. Hyatt say, City of Walsenburg takes over operations, we run it, we do it. I've heard you say that there's people that are getting paid by the association. So these waters are all muddied up. And my question was, can the City of Walsenburg get a liquor license as a government entity?
Yes.
We don't want a liquor license, period.
We don't want a liquor license, period. Gary
But-
said.
But
Yeah.
if you have an intergovernmental agreement and you set up an enterprise, then the enterprise would be the entity that seeks and obtains the liquor license, not the city of Walsenburg.
Yes. Whoever is on that IGA board or whoever it is. Golf course enterprise. The license would be under the enterprise's name. Okay. So to operate tomorrow, the golf association is still making payroll to whoever John Galusha puts up there. That's the way it's been going.
That's what doesn't make sense.
That's what's happening. What don't make sense?
Mr. Hyatt just said that the City of Walsenburg runs it. That tells me that the City of Walsenburg pays it. You're telling me now the Golf Association is paying it. Like, I don't understand who's running it.
City of Walsenburg is allowing an employee of the golf association to be paid through their payroll. That's how it's working right now. That's how it is.
I thought,
Well, Mr. Hyatt, I thought just said we could do that. It's 50-50. It's gonna end up, everything they have in their coffers is gonna be the city. All the material is gonna be City of Walsenburg. Sorry about that.
Mayor, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Are you or any other member of the city council on the board of directors of the Walsenburg Golf Association currently?
No.
Thank you.
I'll go get rid of Jerry. All right, Jerry.
Associated?
I'm not on the board.
Forward, we will operate working we can with the existing golf association, talking up a final vote before the city council and the board of county commissioners to establish this new board, and then we will facilitate that transition to that new board. Sir.
I'm getting more and more confused. What are we doing tomorrow?
So
Of course. Is currently. Agreement, and we will keep that board, and then we will take direction from that board.
Everybody good with that?
So,
John, go ahead.
so if tomorrow we start with no selling liquor, Walsenburg running the golf course. Whatever money the golf association has from dues and whatnot should be turned over to the city then, correct?
You're gonna end up,
Because the golf association is gonna be out then tomorrow. If we take over tomorrow.
but you have sales tax license and you got payroll taxes and things that are still in the golf association's name. There's a transition period there.
Well, then,
They're trying to use that until this change happens.
isn't the best plan to go forward then to extend the lease for a couple of months, let the golf association run it. So they can pay whatever they need to pay out of their account. We don't have to mess with that until we get this IGA.
Keep in mind, it's basically shut down. They only open the doors to have the bathrooms and sell a beverage. That's all only reason it's open.
Oh.
And rent a cart.
Yeah.
So if the golf association runs it for the next month or two, it's gonna be the same way. Couple hours a day, bare minimum.
Well, but
Type thing.
the difference I see in the two ways of operating it is number one, liquor. They can still sell liquor.
Yes.
We can't. And number two, they would be responsible for the day-to-day running of it, the golf association, not us.
You know, whatever Mr. Galusha decides to do, I guess, but
Well,
I'll entertain that motion. If you want to make a motion to extend the lease for a month. That's one way of doing it.
well, personally, I don't think the majority of the city of Walsenburg residents golf and probably don't want to spend the money on the golf course. I don't want to see the golf course shut down. I think it's something good for the community. I think it brings in money. You know, I don't want to see anybody that enjoys golf and not be able to golf here. But we have to have some sort of responsibility to the citizens that don't golf and don't care, which I think are in the majority here. As far as going with extending the lease, that would be the more profitable way to go for whoever is running it, because they can still sell liquor. If we run it, we can't sell liquor, so all we got is daily green fees or whatever we may get. Sell a bag of chips, whatever, you know, sell a pop, whatever. If the golf association runs it, they can sell all that stuff, plus they can sell booze. That would be a way to bring in more money. It's bringing it into the golf association, but
Yeah.
it should,
Still January and February.
but it's bringing it into the
No,
golf
I'm not against that.
association,
That's
it's
fine.
bringing it into the golf association's coffer, which is paying the propane bill and the utility bill and the whatever, till we get this other agreement hammered out and that committee takes over doing it. So like I say,
around a lot of the issues will be addressed because it will be all of those issues will be vested in that new board to address.
yeah, so I kind of think maybe extending the lease would be better than the city trying to take it over and, you know, shove some personnel up there to do it. Has a job here already or, you know,
You want to put that in the form of a motion?
I'll make the motion to extend the lease
Going.
until we get this IGA figured out. And I will go,
March 1st.
Can we do a timeline?
I will go with our administrators. What did you say, Jerry? 60 days?
But
60 days from today or from the first of the month, whatever. 60 days from the.
We just say end of March.
It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Say end of March and that'll get this quarter.
Fine enough.
Yeah,
Could you make that a firm date? Are you saying until April 1?
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, April Fool's Day.
That's significant. That'll work. I got a motion by Don Martinez. Second.
Second by somebody.
Second by Ronald Staff. Oh, was you gonna second it?
No, it's, I just,
His name's easier to say. All right, discussion.
I want to say that just because everybody doesn't golf, I mean, I don't golf, but I've been out there with a little friend and we played putt and we had lunch, I guess popping chips and work. It was a beautiful day. Realtors trying to show people property or trying to convince people to come into our community. It would be nice if there's our beautiful golf course, there's our beautiful parks, but we're not discussing that tonight. I think it's important to take care of every resource we have.
I think it's a very valuable one now. Okay,
Nobody's disputing that.
The value of it.
I mean, I want the golf course to be successful just as much, but I don't want it to fall on the backs of the city of Walsenburg. That's what I don't want to happen. I believe that it can self-sustain itself. I've seen it. I believe it can if it's managed properly.
well, let's help manage it. Let's get going.
So my discussion on the motion was that the Golf Association is responsible for all costs during that extended contract. That the city of Walsenburg is not picking up the bills.
Is that in the original lease, Mr. Hyatt?
Yes.
So the extension of the contract, the original contract, all the rules and regulations would stay in effect, same as it was.
Same as it was till.
Uh,
Right.
I would ask that the motion include authorizing the mayor to sign the lease extension, since all the terms are going to be the same except for the dates. And then that way it doesn't have to come back before the council again.
So Don would have to add that to his motion.
I will so amend my motion to allow the mayor to sign the extended lease.
Yeah, I got an amended motion by Don Martinez. Second by Ronald
And
Stafford.
that include getting a copy of the insurance certificate that's required by that lease.
When is the certificate due? Whatever the term date of that insurance policy is, I don't know when that is.
And I don't know.
I don't either.
I just want to make sure that the original contract says,
It may still be covered.
that's fine, as long as we have a copy.
I will find that out. Okay, any other discussion? Got past the first part. Okay, roll call.
Barry Bazani?
Yes.
Ronald Stafford?
Yes.
Fred Ecker?
Yes.
Don Martinez?
Yes.
Pamela Brightweiser?
Yes.
Veronica Mays?
Yes.
Jennifer Novak? Motion passes.
Okay, all I can say is we want to talk a little bit about the IGA. How's everybody sitting? Have you read it? It's long,
Be
it's pretty
prepared.
extensive.
Be prepared.
Is the council interested in co-county rec board park? I don't know what they're calling it. Intergovernment
It's called Golf Course
Enterprise.
Joint Enterprise. It's
There
in,
it is.
it doesn't say anything about Parks and Rec, it says Golf Course
Okay,
operations.
so
Yes.
is everybody in favor of passing this resolution, I guess, is the question.
But we can't pass a resolution tonight. We can just discuss it. Yes, I like the resolution. I'd like to be able to discuss it maybe a little bit more with a public meeting.
Right.
So how does this affect the ownership of the actual golf course? Is the county partial ownership, or are they just?
The county said they don't care about ownership. They just want to operate.
So
Make sure it stays operational.
Gonna supply some people for the council that they're all appointing.
What they used to do,
And they're gonna help financially
yes,
with, if I read that right, is the city and the county are gonna be responsible for each 50% of what we come out in the red up there, if it comes out in the red.
right, or
So if it comes out in the red, say 20,000, then we're each on the hook for 10,000.
that's how I read it.
And so what happens if it comes out in the black? Do we split it? I mean, they get 50% of the profit and so do we.
And they,
Or do we get insulated windows so that the utility bill?
we had a workshop. Ruth.
Jerry,
Everybody's talking at the same time.
I couldn't hear him.
go
Jerry,
ahead.
go ahead.
Since once the board's established, the board's empowered to review and consider those exact issues and refer those back to the city council and the board of county commissioners as appropriate. That's the beauty of having a separate body handle all this stuff.
Because the board will be 2 city council members, 2 county commissioners.
Well appointed.
On this handled that has the authority to do all of this work on your behalf.
And it's appointed by, not the actual members, right? I just was correcting. Want to make sure that.
And the board of county commissioners, as part of that process, will have accountable individuals in place to make those decisions, just as you are accountable.
At the workshop, what the county was trying to, they think they can get a grant, make the building more efficient, get a electric grant, make it all electricity, get all that done for free, redo the insulation, whatever it takes to make it more efficient, and they think it can make money. They think they can promote better RV park, putt, golf, and actually have it make money, which I think it should do.
Let them run it and make an agreement with them.
They probably would do that.
They take it on, they pay rent or whatever. I mean, if they think they can do that much greater of a, like, why include another entity? Like, if we're just the owners of it, we provide the water. Say you rent it and then the city's not out anything.
At some point, though, somebody's going to have to lease the restaurant.
That's what I'm saying. You essentially, like we did to the golf association, we say, hey, county, you do your thing, and as long as you provide us all this going along.
They may be interested in that. That's a possibility. We can propose that.
I wouldn't be opposed to throwing that out there at least.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You have 3 sitting commissioners right now, and a race coming up that board could change. And I mean, that board can change by 2. I mean, that's the possibility. And maybe new commissioners aren't up for the same thing that's here. I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot that can change to just jump into this.
It's both ways, though,
It does cut both ways.
because city council could change too.
Yeah.
And what we need is consistency for our asks.
Should we sit down with the county and hash this out? All these ideas can be, it's no good telling each other these things. We could tell them, right?
Exactly.
And feel them out.
I believe they had an executive session, didn't they, to discuss this?
I don't know.
They had an
Did they?
executive session to discuss it, so who knows what we're talking about?
No, that's why we gotta, might as well meet with them, and we don't know what's going on yet. This is all new. This just got thrown out there, so I just wanted to make sure
So have they,
this is the direction we want to go, huh?
have they seen this agreement?
Jerry said,
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Get any feedback from them since they met on it today?
Yes, ma'am.
They, what I understand, go ahead, Jerry.
From Pueblo County.
Oh, did we just lose you, Jerry? Okay. Yes.
The IGA will be scheduled for the regular city council meeting for consideration. You know, in February, we sent that to you all as a draft for your own review and consideration. But we fully intend to send that forward as a final in February.
I think we need to sit down with the commissioners. This is gonna be too hard doing it electronically. We need to go face to face.
Mayor, that's why I asked. They met on it today. Like, was there any feedback from their meeting?
I haven't heard anything. We need to meet with them, right?
Administration would be more than acceptable.
Okay.
Wouldn't the board have to pick that person?
He is the chief executive officer of the city. He can assign council for, and then work with us to get this matter resolved. unless Mr. Hyatt has some different interpretation, I don't know.
Mr. Hyatt probably can't even hear him.
You can
Be
get
able to
better
hear through the mic.
because he's by his.
The commissioners I know don't like meeting with all three. Remember Veronica, when we were doing the police thing? Let me look into that. I'd rather have all of us and all of them is what I'd rather have. And get it done all in one sit down rather than going back and forth and taking forever. I don't know how long the golf course is gonna hold out, so we need to get this done. So let me see if I can get the commissioners to all sit down together.
So we don't know if they're at their meeting today, they went, oh, we like this resolution.
Good session about it today.
And that if they're completely on board with this, I don't know if they're open to discussing other options.
Well, I'll bet you we get something different than this.
Do we about
Is what I'm gonna bet. So let's, that's down the road. Give me time to put that together. I don't think we'll ever get it done if we try to do it without doing it face to face with them.
We're gonna meet and then they're gonna meet and we're gonna meet and
with
they're
them.
gonna
Yeah,
meet.
We're gonna meet with them directly and hash it out and get it over with,
Arm wrestle and everything.
whatever it takes.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm down.
Better than later.
yes, I'll get a hold of somebody tomorrow. I think we're done.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. I got a motion by Don Martinez, second by Ronald Stafford. All in favor?
I.
Opposed? Hearing that motion carried.
All right. That is it, guys and gals. Appreciate you being here. I'm going to make my way over to you peoples and have a chat with him and John DeNicola. There's a link if you want to go there. I'll see you there. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a great night. Stay safe.